As a student, I was a student during the 70s, and I don't know if you've ever seen like any old reruns of Happy Days, but that's what it was like around here. There was drive-in movies and restaurants and places to hang out, and everything was going. There's bus routes through here. All the traffic, I-40 hadn't been built, and so there was a lot of traffic through here, a lot of businesses, motels, and then a lot of that changed when they built I-40 and it went through the gorge and bypassed Madison County. But it was good times. I have to say, being the principal at Laurel Elementary, those were good times too. Small school, good people to work with, knew most of the teachers, from working different places. Knew a lot. Being my community, I knew a lot of the parents, but I enjoyed it.
Well, a typical day here would be, I tried to arrive about 7:30 in the morning. That's typically when teachers would arrive to get ready for the students. The buses would unload. In kindergarten, the first week or two, the kids would come to us in the room, and then we would take them to the cafeteria. As the year went on, then we would actually let them kind of go on to the cafeteria, and we would meet up with them there. So, all students are provided breakfast when they first arrive. So we would go down and have breakfast with the kids. And the sense in there was, lots of kids, just happy. You'd hear kids laughing and, talking about their day or the night before.
I attended school at Laurel Elementary. My children attended, my siblings attended Laurel, and also my children and some of my grandchildren. I work at Hot Springs Elementary since the closing of Laurel in 2015. I was an assistant here bus driver, and since that time I was able to, that's where the children from Laurel were moved to, Hot Springs Elementary. So I was able to get on there, and now I'm back with Cindy Belcher, the teacher that I was working with in kindergarten when Laurel closed down. She and I are back in kindergarten at Hot Springs, and so that was really good for me since the closing of Laurel to be able to get back, working in elementary school again, back in kindergarten with Cindy Belcher being her assistant. She and I make a good team, I think. It felt like, I guess it was such a shock. It felt like, to me, like a death, because it was such a big part of my life.
You knew you were supported, and you knew that everybody's life mattered, and it's just those kind of things. That's what our school was like.
Well, my hope and vision for Laurel Elementary is to be a productive, useful building for something, either a community center or some kind of learning center. I think they're in the process now. I think Keith Ray, who is a former principal here at Laurel Elementary, is in the process of working with the board and county commissioners trying to get something done about maybe getting it for a community center, for a meal site here for the elderly. I would love it to see it turned into some kind of learning for, maybe adults, maybe, for, or it could be something for people to come to and have night classes. I mean, it's still a good building. It has a new roof, it has new ceilings, it has new floors. It is in good shape as far as the physical condition of the building. The gym, and the floor, it's new. It's not been built too long. And so I really hope that something positive happens here and that it's just not let to stay and go down and, fall down and fall apart. I hope that it can be kept alive and for something positive in this community, and that people in the community can have use of it, including me. I'd still like to be able to come here and, have my memories and, come here and visit and be a part of something that was positive and happening in the community.
My vision is to have a viable meal site, a recreation center. It has a auditorium on the end, like a stage, and it's a screen like this. People can have meetings and weddings and reunions and stuff like that. It has high-speed internet. Have a library type facility where people, may could come and take classes. Progress is slow. Maybe you have some, or had some, or you will have some dealings with bureaucracies, but the school was closed. It sat there idle for a couple years. Then we started our process of trying to get, something to take place with the school. We went to the Board of Education, talked to them a few times, met with them, and asked publicly in a meeting about the future of that campus and what could happen with it. That means that they no longer said that they have any use, the Board of Education, for that school as a school, like a charter school or any kind of school. So that opened it up to be passed on to the commissioners, because when a school closes, technically it's no longer being used as a school. It reverts back to the county, and then the commissioners are the governing source of the county. So right now we're dealing with commissioners. It's a slow process. We've met with them a few times. They have talked favorably in regards to they want us to have it. They want it to have it as a community center and the meal site, but there's always buts. Funding, there's some schools that they have leased to community groups and they've not been successful. So they're being real cautious. I don't know if they really know how they want us to take it over. In other words, we could go into a lease agreement, we could go into a partnership, or they could just hand us the keys. So that's where we are. We will be meeting with the commissioners, and we met in a work session, but we will be meeting with them next month.